what's sudden. So ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be breaking down the top 10 most dangerous and deadly locations in Fortnite. Basically what this video is going to be is places you are most likely to die. Now obviously this video is going to be a lot of actual named locations, but beyond that there's actually a lot of spots in Fortnite that are just a simple area, and due to the traffic flow of the map lead to lots of people pinching you or just being in that area, causing your unfortunate death. And while if you're a good player, these may be locations that you want to seek out so you can get more kills, if you're not looking to die, you're looking for that high ranking game, you may want to avoid these places. Now before we do get into it, I just want to say again, if you guys are new to the channel, we are so close to 2 million subscribers. So if you could please subscribe, that would be awesome. If you're already subscribed, hit that like button. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna start things off at our number 10 spot, and this is actually not a technical location, but it's part of one. So our number 10 spot is Loot Lake. So while the island within Loot Lake and the surrounding areas that is defined as Loot Lake isn't the most deadly place to go, what I would say is one of just the most dangerous places to be in Fortnite is the lake itself. I can't believe that in May of 2018, people still are landing at that central island and just having to risk the exposure of running through the lake after they're done looting this place. Loot Lake isn't really one of the best places to loot, but I just can't think of a worse location to be when you have a squad firing down on you than in the middle of this lake. Okay, moving on to our number 9 spot, guys. This is a location, it's a pretty high traffic area. It's Pleasant Park. So personally, I gotta be honest, Pleasant Park is my favorite location to land because I feel like it's fairly high traffic, but usually if I land there with a squad, I'm coming out with 1, a couple kills, and 2, some fairly good loot. That being said though, I would definitely argue that Pleasant Park is a high traffic area, and the odds of you going here and making it out, no matter if you're a good player or not, are sometimes pretty low. If you're as bad as me, you just simply get a good team to carry you through Pleasant Park, but not everyone has that luxury. Now, although Pleasant Park isn't the most high traffic area, I would definitely argue that not only is it a high traffic area and a dangerous place at the start of the game, you've also got like Junk Junction, Haunted Hills, and everything kind of north of it that's gonna draw traffic in as people are, going towards the circle. So definitely a dangerous place to be. All right, so coming in at number 8 on this list, ladies and gentlemen, this is not Tilted Towers itself, but what I would call the outskirts of Tilted Towers. So whenever you have a super high traffic area, I think Tilted Towers is the best example that has ever been in Fortnite. Not only are you gonna get a lot of people that land there, making it dangerous, but the area around it is often dangerous too. The thing with Tilted is not only is the actual place gonna be dangerous, but if you think about it, they get drawn to it naturally. There's a lot of traffic flowing towards it even once everyone has landed, just because people know, well, we're running from Shifty, there's probably someone at Tilted Towers. And the other thing that makes it even worse is you've got that big mountain that just kind of circles Tilted Towers, and if you're running towards Tilted and you have a team on that, it's a very bad place to be just because they simply have the high ground line. And this area feeds from Pleasant, the stadium, even Shifty Shafts, and even maybe Greasy Grove a little bit. So there's a lot of traffic flowing from those areas to this place. Anyways, we're gonna move on to what I like to call the Triangle of Death. So this is another non-named location, but it's a high traffic area and therefore dangerous due to the fact that it's kind of surrounded by high traffic areas. This is going to be the Salty Retail Fatal Triangle. Now, while Fatal Fields isn't the most popular area in the game, it's definitely a point of interest, and then you've also got Salty and Retail, which make it just like there's this big kind of area in between it. I'll highlight it on the map. But basically, this is a very high traffic area just because there's so many popular areas around it. Depending where the circle lands, you can have people going from Salty to Retail, or Retail and Salty down to Fatal, or any other mismatch of that. And that is what makes it just so hectic. I find really anywheres around Salty is always going to be a high traffic location, but just simply because it has Retail and Fatal close to it, it's pretty ridiculous. And actually, speaking of Retail, that is going to be our number 6 location. Retail is definitely a point of danger. In my opinion, in Fortnite, there's been like 3 locations that have always been and probably will always be highly populated, and it's Retail, Salty, and Pleasant. Pleasant is high traffic, but it's fairly open, so you have room to build and you have room to fight. Retail kind of takes that concept and pushes it in together a little bit. You've got the house area, which is very convoluted, very easy to die, very easy for people to get the height advantage on you and just take you out. And then you've got the upper actual retail area, which is also actually, it's not very condensed, but just the fact that it's like a big square kind of leads it to being a dangerous area to be. And again, retail is one of those places, it's great for going for kills, but it's also a place that often lends itself to being more dangerous than, you know, like your Wailing Woods. I gotta just stop hating on Wailing Woods. I'm sorry, people. It's actually a lot better than it used to be. Anyways, let's move on. Okay, coming in at our number 5 spot, guys, this is going to be not a specific location, but any location that has a challenge, a weekly challenge for chests or kills. Now, I find the chest challenges to be a lot worse than the kills, which, by the way, quick note, why does Epic Games say, go to this location and get 3 kills? Why is that hard? I'm not sure if Epic is just catering to all kinds of players or what, but I swear their hard challenges will be like, get 3 headshots with a hunting rifle, and then the other one will be like, shotgun eliminations. And that's always one of the easiest ones, is get kills in this location, but regardless of that, it always lends that area to becoming really high traffic. Last week's challenge was Greasy Grove, and Greasy hasn't seen that kind of action since season 1. Okay, Greasy used to be a pretty hype spot before Tilted Towers came about, and it's looking like it used to, where you've just got, 20 people landing in, all looking for chests. And really, any time that you have one of these challenges going on, it's gonna make that location you're trying to go to extra dangerous. Honestly, I'm just waiting for the week that Epic is just complete troll mode and they're like, 5 kills or 5 chests or 20 chests or something ridiculous at like Tilted, and just the entire game just goes tilted. Okay, now moving on to our number 4 spot. This is gonna be Salty Springs. So again, I was talking about your triple threat here. You got Pleasant, you got Retail, and Salty is by far the most dangerous. That being said, I would argue Salty is kind of your highest risk yet highest reward area. The thing with Salty is it's really no more high traffic than Retail or Pleasant, but it's very condensed. It's got a lot of chests and a lot of loot in a pretty small area. Salty is a lot of close gunfights where you're not even always going to be able to rely on building, and it's a lot of the time just getting lucky, getting a shotgun, and being very accurate, very precise. And, also having teammates that do the same, because there is nothing worse than, one guy dies at the start and you're like, oh, bro, we got a lot of kills, but you ruined it. Restart. Back to the lobby, boys. Back to the lobby. Anyways, I think everyone can be in agreement that Salty is pretty ridiculous. Okay, now moving down to our number 3 spot, guys. This is going to be Tilted Towers. Now, back in season 3, I probably would have placed Tilted Towers a lot higher, but at the end of the day, I think regardless, Tilted is a pretty dangerous spot. The thing I find with Tilted is I am more likely to get kills and survive for a bit at Tilted, but I think the thing with Tilted is it's so high traffic, there's always people funneling through, and there's always another team that's there. So while Salty is like, there's a good chance that I'm just gonna instantly die when I get there, at Tilted I usually have a chance of surviving and getting a few kills, but the chances that I'm gonna make it all the way through and leave Tilted, much lower than Salty. That being said, it's only coming in at number 3 just because with the Meteorite update and really I guess just the season 4 update with new locations, it's kind of dispersed the amount of people that land there. Tilted is definitely not as hectic as it used to be, and although it is still obviously a high traffic area, I wouldn't argue it's as dangerous as it was in season 3. Okay, now coming in at number 2, this is the highest ranking non-named location on this list. Ladies and gentlemen, I have for you the Death Ravine. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're going to pretty quickly. So coming from Loot Lake, there is a waterfall that turns into a river, and that is what I'm talking about when I say the Death Ravine. The Death Ravine stretches basically from Loot Lake, realistically all the way down to almost as far as Lucky Landing. It's just that long river that just meanders between a whole bunch of hills and mountains, and it is by far one of the most dangerous places you can go. Now the thing is it's not always the highest traffic area. The problem is though, it just lends itself to a lot of inequality. Not the right word at all. If you are at the bottom of the ravine, or you need to cross the ravine because you have the storm at your back, and there is another team on the other side with high ground, it is very likely that you are dead. There are so many times where you're just, you gotta run through it. It's something you can't really avoid. And, oh gee, there's a team on the other side. Good luck having a building battle where there's 4 people shooting down at you from like 100 meters higher than you. And on top of that, you've got 30 seconds till the storm's gonna hit you. Like, just an absolute terrible spot to go. And on top of that, very often, if you land on the west side of the map, you're gonna have to cross it. So dangerous. You know what I'm getting at. The Death Valley is just not a good place to be. But I would argue that there is one place that is much worse to be. This is the place that I would say you have the highest odds currently of dying. And it is actually going to be Dusty Divot. Now, the thing that makes Dusty Divot so dangerous, and I've talked about this a little bit in another video, is it is very high traffic with not enough loot. Now, in a few weeks, I think the traffic is gonna die off for Dusty Divot, but the problem is so many people are going here because it's a new central location and it just doesn't have the loot to provide for everybody there. So basically, the key to winning at Dusty Divot, huge spoiler, guys, don't tell anyone, is you land in, you get a shotgun, you get a crack rock, and you just go off. But if you're not that person, then you are the one that is getting offed on. You are the one that is getting wrecked, and it's not a good time. And the odds that you're gonna find a shotgun, make it to a rock, and go off are like, not bad, but odds are definitely not in your favor. On top of that, it's one of the most low ground places ever. So let's say you're just chilling there and you've got a team that pulls up on top of the crater. That is also a thing called high ground. So it's very dangerous at the start of the game. It's very dangerous to be in really at any time at all. And that's why I'm putting it at number 1. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be our video for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and all that good stuff. Oh, I completely forgot what I was gonna say, but make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it because we're so freaking close to 2 million. I can smell it. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Peace out, you freaking nerds. I gotta go get a haircut.